Thank you for checking out this video. How's it going, good people? This video we're going to be building out a 404 page. It's fairly straightforward on how to build out a 404 page with a static site generator, but I want to include this as part of the series because of the fact it is something that you need to consider when your website does not have the built-in capabilities to display a 404, or you just don't want to use the web server's 404 page, because a web server 404 page is typically pretty bland. My name is Kenny. This is Tech Talk with RHT Services. All right, so I'm going to again copy what I already have from another site that utilizes this same set of technology. You're probably asking, why not just create something from scratch? Well, if you can save time by copying code that you already have from somewhere else, and I don't necessarily mean copying from just like randomly from the internet, although some people do that, but if you have something that you've previously written and it works, then just copy what you got and go in there and modify it as need be and go from there. So what I did was to take the existing 404 page. It has some very generic text on it. This text can be changed, and then I created a 404.html. Now in the mkdocs.yaml file, and if I go over to this one, I believe I need a tag here that says static templates. There we go. All right, so then if I copy that and then put this here, and then on the next line, 404.html. All right, so then if I save, go back to my website, which is in one of these tabs, do slash, and then put anything back here, because there should only be this one page. All right, and so it is not doing exactly what it should be doing. So let's check. Let's see. Are there any errors? So, no, it doesn't appear to be any errors. All right, so let's run task, run local, and update that. It is watching. Okay. All right, and so it should be showing the 404 page on here. It may not, though, actually show the 404 page. All right, so let's do that /sitemap.xml. All right, and so it only is showing the home page, and maybe it won't show the 404 for some other reason. All right, so 404. So it's returning a 404, but it's not showing the 404. I'm not sure if there's something in the configuration that needs to be done for that. All right, so let's come back over here. So I have the static template 404. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the other things that I have in this particular site configuration have been copied over. And the reason being is because this site that I already have, the almostengineer.com, works fairly well. And so I want to, I've spent a lot of time researching how to set things up for that site. And so instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, just copy over what you got and then modify it accordingly. And so as you see, site copyright, and it mentioned that down here, config value site copyright unrecognized configuration, meaning it doesn't know what that is, which means I need to come back in here and fix this. All right, so that copyright thing should go down here, and we'll take that, put that there. I am the author, although I will put my business name in here, rhtservices.net, and I will remove, we don't have a domain name yet, so what I'm going to do is comment that out for the moment and then remove that duplicate tag. Now what has happened is it detected a file change and has done a reload. So if we come back over to the browser, view page source, and the stuff will eventually be located up here. So what I'm going to do is to go back to my page, and we're going to replace the values here with those that need to go up here. Now this is not a Hugo generated website, so I'm going to go ahead and comment that out. The author will be myself, but I want to load that from the configurations. So site author will be done like that, where you put, if you have a value in the configuration, you do the double open braces config dot, and then whatever inside of that configuration you can then call directly, and then the closing braces, and then I need to close out this tag with that, and then that. Format the file just to make sure. All right, so then if I refresh the source, I can now see that now my configuration has told the static site generator to minify the file. And so I only have 4 lines of code here, which makes it very difficult to read. So what I want to do is actually take this plugin and comment them out for the moment. All right, so that should have reloaded. And so now I can come back in here and read it. All right, so now I see that the content here is RHT services. And then if I come back over to the description of the website, I can then do the braces config dot site description and remove the white space here at the beginning. And then also I can do the so I think there should be, yeah, site name should be there. And so I can do this where it does config site name. All right. And so if I refresh this, so now we have hair template, and I think I'm missing, yeah, the separator there. So I'm going to put the pipe character as separator. And so refresh this. So now I have my separator here. I have that commented line out that will eventually go away entirely. And then I have the description. Now, if I come over to my configuration and then I say hair, shampoo, combs, and accessories, I can then reload my fade, and I'm doing this in the configuration itself. I can then refresh, and now it goes in there, because the way this static site generator does is it takes the values from wherever they are, puts them into this template, and then the template is generated out as a HTML page. So I don't have to go and do too much of the manually coding every individual thing. But all right, so let's come back over here, and I want to look at this template as well for the metadata values that I have up here. Now, I have the site description, the author, and I think I have those two here. Yes. All right, so the generator, we'll change this to MK Docs. Now, on this particular site, I am conditionally changing the title depending upon, and the format of the title depending upon what it has. So if the page has the title embedded in the metadata, then that goes there. Otherwise, you do this other set of combination of things. And so I'm not going to copy that, although it probably would be useful to copy that in the future if this site were to have multiple web pages. All right, so as I come down here, I'm going to copy these things here, these 3 tags here. The metadata tags are related to search engine data. So Facebook has the capability, and as well as some other social media sites have the capability of being able to read the metadata and then using that metadata to then display information on the social media site when you copy and paste links in there for other people to read. And so with that, I'm going to have this in here, and because it's literally the same thing. So if page is meta and so forth, you got keywords. If you got keywords, include those. If there's a image, include that at the in the meta tag there. YouTube, although there probably won't be any YouTube things here, so I'm going to take this one out. I think I have the OG type already defined as website up above. So I'm going to take that out, and to be honest, that's actually a bug in the other website, but we'll leave that where that is. All right, so we're going to default the robots tag to index and follow all links, as well as if you want to override that, you can just do that there. The canonical page, I have that in here, and then the page author, which is already defined up here. So we're going to actually take this one out as well as that one. And the reason being is because I have a description already up here defined, as well as move this up here because I think this needs to be closer to that. Not that the order of this makes a difference, excuse me, but yeah, it would better do that. Because this is an e-commerce site, I do not believe there will be any pages that we don't want the search engine to index. So what I'm going to do is to move that from there to up here and move some of this blank space. And let's see what else. Keywords, each page in the future may have keywords, so we'll leave that there. This is not a blog, so it will default to the site author, and I think that'll be fine for this particular setup. All right, so now if we come back over here to the page, and refresh, as you see, we have a lot more stuff here. Of course, when I minify this, these blank lines will go away, but these blank lines are a combination of these if conditions in addition to the blank lines between each of the if conditions. Like I said, when I do a minification of this or set it up to return the minification back on, that will address that blank line and reduce the amount of data that's being utilized for this particular case. Now, I kind of did a little bit more than I wanted to when in regards to that 404 page, because I actually did create a separate task for the page metadata. So if you're watching this, you actually got 2 issues covered in one video. That was not the plan, but sometimes that happens when you're working on one item and it kind of leads over into the next item. You end up just going ahead and doing both. All right, so from the visual aspect of the website, nothing has changed. It's still the same as it was in the previous video. However, from the under the hood implementation or the source code, things are completely different. That said, that will wrap this video up. I will commit both items 9 and 10 and mark them as done because they are now done. If you have any comments or questions about that, feel free to drop those in the comment section below. Before I do this last bit, let me just show you how to commit things in version control using VS Code. So normally what I do is I look at the issue queue for what I have, and so do 10 and 9. And so you can put closed, close, or other verbs in front of the issue number and then commit those. And what it will do is when you do your deployment from a child branch to your main or master branch, it will then automatically close the issue. So if you're working on like a bug fix, this is a great way to not have to actually log into GitHub every time to close out issues. All right, so what I did here was number 10, so created 404 page. And then also I added meta tags for SEO. And I will then commit that and say yes. And then I will publish this branch because this branch apparently has not been published already. That has published and pushed. So when I come over to GitHub, I now see the commit as part of the issue. Now you're probably saying, why is it still open? Well, the reason being is because this branch has not been merged into the main branch. Once I do that, then it will automatically, it being GitHub, will automatically close that issue. That said, that will wrap things up. If you have not already, please be sure to subscribe and follow. Thank you for watching, and check out the next video in the series.